Welcome back to CryptoWealthy channel, guys. In today's episode, I'm going to dedicate my time just for VeChain holders and VeChain traders, investors. If you're new, hit that like, subscribe button. We're going to be doing bullish and bearish technical analysis from the weekly high time frame towards the 4-hourly chart to see where VeChain price is going to end up. For the bearish side, how VeChain may actually drop 20%. And on the bullish side, what needs to happen in order not to see, such a dumps and continue rally to the upside. What VeChain needs to do in the future and what needs to happen, right? And now, let's begin. So in order to answer all of your questions, you need to watch this video as long as you can. I know it's a little bit impatient. Do not skip it because we have really some incredible news and some incredible level of supports and resistance to show you before you skip any of these parts. So make sure to stay all the way until the end, if you can, of course. So over here, first we're going to try to explain you why actually VeChain may continue dump to the downside. And one of the reasons on the weekly chart over here is unfortunately weekly exponential moving average. VeChain didn't manage to actually hold 20 EMA, unfortunately, on the weekly chart. And as we can see over here, we broke it in the previous week. And over here, we are right now getting decline from it. Now, if we could in next 3 days actually climb above this line, this yellow line over here, that would be great, which means we may actually continue rally to the upside or at least postpone some dump or maybe even make it to never happen. Right now, unfortunately, we're declining from 20 EMA, and this is very important, guys. You need to understand that many traders are watching this, many investors, and because of such a big parabolic move on the VeChain, this is the reason, as we discussed on this channel, whenever the price gets so parabolic and so far away from some EMA, it tends to come back and test this exponential moving average in any asset, not just on VeChain, and it's going to test it violently, which in this case scenario over here, we are seeing breaking it, like in the Bitcoin, like in everything. So right now we are holding the level of 0.01 approximately on this week over here, but the price is standing on cent 0.2. So we're going to see if we're going to have some volatility in the next period of time. Now, good thing over here that we are into the bullish zone over here on the RSI, and that's actually it for the weekly chart. Now we're going to switch on the daily chart. We have something very interesting over here to show you. There are some bullish things, but there are also some bearish things that could lead us to minus 10 to 20% in the next few days or weeks. First things first, we need to say what actually happened over here. We consolidate into this triangle over here, and what VeChain did, it didn't manage to hold above 20 EMA on the daily chart and broke this level, came back in the round retest, retested this as a resistance, and right now continued rally to the downside, unfortunately. And right now we are expecting some sort of a retest of 20 EMA over here. We even managed to make this round bottom over here, which is pretty bullish for bottoming out formations on some sort of way, or at least local formations. And in this case scenario, we came into the falling wedge formation, which is also bullish formation. So if we bring one blue line over here instead that red line, you can see that we are into the bullish formation over here, which now in order to actually push on the way to the upside, VeChain needs to continue this climbing to the upside as it does actually in the previous 2 to 3 days over here. Now we're going to probably see 20 exponential moving average retest. If we declined from this line over here, we may actually see even lower prices than we are seeing over here, and that's like minus 20 to 10%. And now I'm going to show you why I think that. If we take measurement over here from this price, that where are we actually right now, and compare to the next level of support where price actually stopped, it's like minus 14% approximately drop. And if we lead to the next highs of those candles over here, we can pretty much see 23 to 24% drop in the VeChain in the next period of time if we actually decline from 20 EMA over here, break this support over here, and then we're going to see such prices. So be prepared to see such prices, because after those drops over here, we may see the bounce. This is most probably, if you are like right now actually in the loss, this is not good idea to actually sell your VeChain over here, because it's going to most probably bounce from there. We're going to see a local capitulation over here, which led us to approximately right now 46% drop, or in that case scenario it's 60% drop, and I don't think we're going to go any further lower, because Bitcoin at some point needs to turn around and push on the way to the upside. Now, how I got to conclusion that these levels are actually the levels that are going to hold us above over here. The first thing first, you need to see these weeks over here that stopped just right on this week over here. And also, if we zoom out a little bit, that's these levels when we were on the way to the downside in 2018, when the VeChain actually came out on the trading view. Now, another level over here is the flat level that VeChain got resistance, and to things be even more, conservative and crazy over here, I brought the Fibonacci retracement levels over here. So if we measure from the lowest low over here to the highest high, what we can see on the charts over here is the most important level in the crypto world over here, as the Fibonacci retracement concerns, is 0.618, which approximately stand on around 0.0097 per VeChain, and that's the exact area that we actually just discussed. So this is the level most probably that are going to give us, bump and run reversal pattern over here. That's pretty much one of the last big and strong resistances by my calculations over here whatsoever for the VeChain on the way to the downside, because it went too parabolically. We didn't build up enough level of supports on the way to the upside, and this is the reason why we are seeing such a big drops. So right now these levels over here are going to hold most probably very strong if Bitcoin manage stabilize price on such a levels that we are on right now, or at least fill up the gap on $96 to $9,300 and push to the upside. The same thing will happen with the VeChain. So what I'm expecting actually over here on the VeChain, as the bearish side concerns, that we're going to decline from 20 EMA over here. We're going to continue dropping over here towards those levels that I mentioned over here in this box over here. We're going to most probably hold those levels. RSI could probably get into the oversold zone, because right now we just retouched oversold zone and bounced back a little bit, like that get bounced on some sort of a way, and we most probably going to visit those prices if we decline from these levels over here very hard in the next days or so. Now, as the bullish side concerns, what VeChain needs to do, needs to actually see Bitcoin first following to the upside, and after that we must break this 20 EMA that is since 19th of August over here is making us trouble as a resistance and pushing the price, suppressing the price to the downside, which if we break it over here, if we break it, we may find level of support on some sort of a way and break next level of resistance in this wedge formation. And in that case scenario, once you break such a big patterns over here, you're most probably going to have and the big pushes to the upside. So this is the bullish and bearish case scenario that could happen in the VeChain, at least in a middle term, or let's say in the next few days and weeks or so. Now, one of the reasons for the bounces is standing also on 4-hourly chart that we mentioned in the previous videos, and that's on some sort of a way round bottom, and I love those round bottom. I'm trying to find them even on the lower time frames, even on a higher time frames, to actually practice how markets can bottom, at least locally and even globally when it comes to higher time frames. And over here what we can see is pretty good and interesting round bottom over here on these levels over here. We have a bigger wicks over here on 4-hourly chart, we have even on the daily and weekly chart, and that's on some sort of a way indication that the bulls managed to quickly spike price on the way to the upside. That is showing us also the strength. Another reason on the 4-hourly chart is also the bullish divergence, which over here led us to the lower low on the price over here, while money flow in the market showed us a higher low, which in this case scenario is pretty bullish. So we will see if this bullish divergence on 4-hourly chart will actually lead us to break that 20 EMA on 1 daily 1 daily chart. That's important to observe. So overall, it's very important to observe price on the 1 daily chart over here, 20 EMA, and if we bring the another EMAs over here, 0.618 level is, standing approximately over here where we set it. Also 200 daily EMA, which is one of the biggest and important EMAs in the charting, is actually also standing on these levels. So most probably these levels are going to be, final stop for the VeChain to the downside before we see the bigger push on the price. If we don't see, push right now, right away continuation of this pattern. So don't be surprised if you see the price on such a low levels as the 20% drop. It could happen, trust me, because right now these technical analysis are pointing to that, and also crypto and grid index are showing us levels below 46, and that's that fear could push us a little bit lower before we see bounce back to the upside. But definitely, if you're new over here, hit that like, subscribe button, and don't be scared about this, because right now this is totally normal. Now another thing that we need to mention is the MACD over here on the daily chart, which is still not crossing, but we are seeing some lower signals, better signals, a little bit bullish signals on the histogram. So we will see if this momentum will fade out, and we will eventually see cross out over here and push to the upside, as we are going to continue rally to the upside from the point of stance where we are right now. So this is how we are doing technical analysis on this channel, because I'm not going to bring some predictions without any arguments and without any evidences that you can see on the charts. We need to do technical analysis by the things that we are seeing on the chart, and not by the things that we are thinking that could potentially happen. We are still into the bullish trend. We are still heading to the higher prices over here, but right now we are in a little bit bigger correction, and it's totally necessary. I was telling you this in many videos. We need to see corrections. We need to see corrections in the link, in the VeChain, Bitcoin, everything, before we continue our rally to the upside. And this is, trust me, much more healthier than if you see parabolic move and then big dump of 80 to 90 to even 95% from those peaks. So be happy over here. This is one more opportunity to buy even more very cheap before you see the next pump, because once the pump happen, and it will happen, you're going to maybe regret for not buying the dip, and selling the high to the upside, or selling, the rally. So make sure to observe, do your own research, do not listen to me only. It's very important to stay, without emotions in the markets, and you're most probably going to be pretty good and satisfied with your gains after you see the pump. For everything needs patience, and probably for this correction also. Now hit that like, please. Subscribe button if you like this sort of videos. I want to thank each last one of you for watching our videos. Until the next episode, happy trading and goodbye.